Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Marquette Golden Eagles Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. We're here at episode 50 of the series, and I just want to give a special shout out to everyone who's stuck around for this wild ride now in year 4 as Marquette enters at 3-2, a 3-game win streak as we're set here against number 15 Boise State, and we have a blue turf game this week. Boise State actually labeled as our rival because the team we replaced here with Marquette was Idaho. So Boise State's actually our only rival, unfortunately, but we'll see if this game presents that rival-type atmosphere here at Broncos Stadium, and they've been tremendous here all time. I forget the exact numbers, but I think they're like 800 or 850% win percentage here on the blue turf. They do win the coin toss, and they're going to defer as Archibald will get us going here on the kick return. And we're now underway at Broncos Stadium, although it is going to start with a kneel down. As I said, we're now in episode 50, and just a special shout out to Joka, Obscure Victories Gaming, and my boy Locino, Great Days University as well. I appreciate you sticking around with this dynasty, and here's to 4 more seasons. Walker now the opening snap as he has Archibald there, and he does stay in bounds now past the 50. Archibald, a good spin move, and an electric play out of the gate, 31 yards to Archibald. Marquette has not turned the ball over in the last 2 weeks as we've been winning the turnover differential, and I think now a +2 on the season. Now first downs we'll give to Alexander, really nothing doing as he gets a couple. The Broncos not really known for their defense, although they do have the top scoring offense in the nation entering this week. Now 2nd and 8 from the 42, Walker back to pass. And again, try to get Archibald and Walker way offline there. Now 3rd and 8. You would hate for this drive to stall out after that big passing play to get us started. Now 3rd and 8. Walker directly under center takes the snap. We're going to go up for Mason. Couldn't quite drop that into the bucket, and that's Sam McCaskill, a DN back there in coverage. Now 4th down. Going to have to punt here from inside the 45 in Boise State territory. See if Eddie Stevens can work his magic on this one. Punt is off, and that's going to go towards the corner. Looks like a good one, as that's going to go out. Looks like inside the 5, as Nick Patti last week, 317 passing yards, 5 scores. The senior quarterback, one of the best in the nation at 97 overall. The Marquette defense, a very good game last week, allowed 14 first-half points, but nothing in the second half. Patti, his first pass of the day, as he'll just toss that out of bounds. The Broncos led by Chris Peterson, one of the better head coaches in the nation. Patti delay give there for Delmas, and we had someone there to make this tackle. Kind of froze there in one-on-one as Devin Delmas, his first carry for 22 and a first down. I think that might have been Pelland. Yeah, that was Pelland, who just there one-on-one and kind of turned away from the contact. Pelland usually not one to shy away from contact. I think he does have 2 forced fumbles. Well, maybe one of those were last week, or definitely in one of our recent games. He had a nice strip towards the end of the game. Now a first down for Boise State. Patti to pass. He has his tight end there, Besson, and Randy Carpenter there on the stop, 2nd and 4. Marquette has won 4 games in a row against top 25 teams. Hopefully we can keep it going here today. And that's Clay Diamond on the edge making the stop. 3rd and 3 now. Patti now from the shotgun on this 3rd and short from the 35. Besson in motion. And Patti will drop back to pass. Has a man over the middle there at Shipley, his top target. As Shipley gets past the 50, Pelland on the tackle. And now we'll take a look at the Boise State impact players, starting with Nick Patti, the redshirt senior quarterback at 97 overall. A decent athlete under center with 99 throw accuracy, 88 throw power, good awareness, although he's not going to offer much as a runner. This season, so far, 13 passing touchdowns to just 1 interception, over 1,000 yards, completing 57% of his passes, and 31 passing touchdowns last year. We've already seen Devin Delmas on a couple carries so far, averaging just under 5 per touch entering this game. See receiving, and a pretty good receiving numbers. He had a 43-yard touchdown with 177 total yards. 88 overall, 99 acceleration, 93 speed. A very good athlete back there, just 5'8", 179. Good carrying, good elusiveness, and a very good spin move with a good juke as well. Leading the receiving corps is Tanner Shipley, the redshirt junior, 84 overall with 96 acceleration, good speed and agility, good catching at 86, but the catch in traffic spec catch not that great, so more of a clean catch type guy, not going to make catches through contact. Decent route running at 78, but nothing spectacular, although elusiveness, juke, and spin pretty good, so you don't want him to get away with the ball in his hands. So far on the year, 21.9 yards per reception. Very good, including a 79-yarder with 4 scores already. The Broncos have a few very good tight ends, starting here with Matt Besson, 87 overall with good speed and acceleration, good catching. Decent blocker, but more of a pass-catching back, but 6'4", 216 tight end, you don't really expect that. 14 catches on the year with 3 touchdowns and a long of 50. Now we'll scroll through the offensive line, starting here with Chris Mayhew, 81 overall left tackle. John Sanders, 80 overall left guard. Brian Justice, the top-rated player at 86 overall at center. Tied there with Mario Yaku. And then Travis Averill at right tackle. So Boise State, not the best offensive line, but a little bit stronger on the right side. Now Boise State, a fresh set from the 50. And we're going to try and expose this offensive line, but Patti reads the field very quickly, and he has pinpoint accuracy. They'll go here, give for Delmas again, as he's stopped there by Rob Bain. 2nd and 8. Marquette stacks the line with 5 down linemen, and Patti takes the snap and just rips it out of bounds. I feel like we've been getting that glitch a lot lately. Pretty much just gives us a free down. Now 3rd and 8. Patti from the shotgun, Besson in motion. Patti to pass. He's going to go downfield there. Kevin Davis on the interception. And he's going to return it a little bit here, past the 50 now. And Kevin Davis, the JUCO transfer, and finally makes an impact here. I kind of had big expectations for him. And a big play early on as Marquette jumps ahead in the turnover battle. And Nick Patti, an uncharacteristic interception, just the 2nd of the season for him. A big play right out of the gate for the Golden Eagles, kind of setting the tone here. Now 5:01 remaining in the first. Marquette from the 45, Walker to pass. Roll to the right. And Scott Nwakpor leaks free upfield. And Nwakpor down to the 11-yard line. His first grab goes for 34. Boise State just losing track of Nwakpor there. And just 2 completions for Walker, I think both over 30 yards. Now 1st and 10 from the 11. And they go for a give for Mike James as he's stopped in the backfield. A good crash there by the Broncos defensive line. Now 2nd and 11. Marquette backed up a little bit. Walker takes the snap. Archibald in the end zone. That's going to go for a touchdown. Greg Walker showing some good passing out of the gate, although he did have that one bad miss earlier. But 3 big connections thus far. This one for the touchdown. That Archibald. I think that might be his first touchdown of the season for our senior wide receiver. Just gets inbounds there. And a good delivery there from Walker. Following the extra point, we'll get our first studio update of the day. And it sees Washington State upsets the number 9 Oregon Ducks. And you like to see that. I always go for the Cougars with the Mike Leach affiliation. So a bunch of guys there with 10 catches. 3 different players between both sides with 10 catches. Maryland upsets Michigan. Another big loss for the Wolverines. Army, number 20, upsets number 6 Ole Miss. And Kansas State defeats Baylor, who we defeated a few weeks back when they were ranked number 11. Some big games already decided this week, and I love seeing how the college football landscape plays out over the course of the year. After this game, we'll be halfway through the Year 4 season as Balazar muffs that kickoff, and he's forced out there at the 21. Now let's see how Nick Patti and the Broncos offense responds after that Kevin Davis interception. Davis transitions to corner, although we do still give him some time at safety. Patti to pass, a lot of time in the pocket, and eventually finds Davis, who slipped free of good coverage there from Bobby Price, but ultimately too much time there in the pocket, and Patti finds his man. Now Patti from the shotgun, 1st and 10. And he's back to pass. Going to just lob that to the side for Dynens, and a big stop there from Clay Diamond. 2nd and 7, Boise State from the 40. Besson in motion. Patti to pass. Has Delmas there just on a quick hitch. And he's hit hard. 14, though, across midfield. 1st and 10, Patti to pass again here. And I thought we were going to jump that with Bobby Price, but Jake Rowe does make the snag. 12 yards and another 1st down. Now Patti directly under center. And he'll pass again. Just going to get that for the tight end Besson, who's brought down by Robert Williamson after 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now from the 30 as Patti back to pass. And he'll just throw that one away, bringing up another 3rd down. Patti to pass here on 3rd and short. He's going to go underneath for Besson. As we do get the stop. Kenny Johnson looked like a face mask, but no call. Now 4th and 2 from the Broncos from the 25, and it looks like they are going to go for it. 4th and 2, a big opportunity here for the Golden Eagles to get some more momentum. And they'll go with a give there for Delmas, a good redirect as he finds a hole and gets the first down, and I think there was a face mask as well. Bobby Price on the face mask, and now that brings Boise State to the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. Patti to pass. Being chased and does get some room somehow and works his way up ahead for 7. Good decision making there from Patti to just tuck it and run. A very productive play. Now 2nd and goal from the 2. And they'll get back to Delmas, and he finds a lane, gets outside for the score, and we're all knotted up here in Boise. Now we'll take a look at the Boise State impact players on defense before we get back to the Marquette offense. So Gabe Perez, their highest rated defensive player at 86 overall. Only 221 pounds there off the edge, so hopefully we can contain him quite well with his lack of weight. They're a little undersized, but 92 finesse move, 81 block shed, 86 tackle. Very bad strength at 68, though, so we'll see how he fares, but very good traits otherwise with the 95 pursuit and 84 hit power. His running mate at DN, redshirt senior Sam McCaskill, who we saw earlier in this game, an 84 overall. Not a good athlete, though. 64 speed, 67 agility, but 88 strength, so he holds it down there on the edge with good tackling, a good power move, and a good block shed. 88 hit power as well, and he had 7.5 sacks last season. Boise State a little weaker on the interior, but we'll move it back here to middle linebacker Tanner Vallejo, future draft pick of the Buffalo Bills, 86 overall, good speed, acceleration, agility for a linebacker, 88 play rec, block shed at 79, not bad, 87 pursuit, and his coverage trait's not that great, but he does have that 84 hit power and good rushing the passer as well. Jalen Myrick at corner, their number 1 corner at just 79 overall, the Minnesota transfer, a redshirt junior, 92 speed, 94 acceleration, veteran man at 87, good press as well, decent play rec, and I think this is his 2nd season now with the Broncos after transferring from Minnesota. 1 interception on the year with 5 pass deflections, so much more impact this year than last year. At free safety, there's Chancellor James, 86 overall, not the best speed at 84, but very good acceleration at 96. Good zone at 85, play rec at 81, hit power 89. Look at that pursuit and press, 99, 98 respectively with an 85 block shed. Now the Marquette offense back out there. As we'll start here with an option play. Walker will keep, but nothing doing that time. Those ones really don't work for us too much, but we got to mix them in there. Boise State runs a 4-2-5. So we'll see the 3rd safety most of the way here. Now 2nd and 10, less than a minute remaining in the 1st. We're going to go downfield. We try to get Scott and Walkpour. It looked like he was going to win over the top, but a good deflection there at the line, and that saves Boise State. Now 3rd and 10, Walker out there in the shotgun. And he'll take the snap again here. Going to dump that off for Alexander, but Alexander came way back to it. Lost some yardage there, lost some traction, so another 4th down, and Eddie Stevens going to be on for another punt. Kind of a wasted drive there. I feel like I could have caught a little bit better plays there. Definitely should have mixed in the run, but very weak secondary here, and we're going to try and take advantage. Already kind of have with 80 passing yards for Walker to start the day. And Aaron Clark there pancaked as Balazar is going to stiff-arm Carroll. Clark stiff-armed as Baltazar works that to the 37. Baltazar, a very good running back as they kind of split time with he and Delmas, although I feel like when we say that prior to a game or in-game, they just kind of rely on one running back. Another wasted pass there from Patti, and that's going to be 2nd and 10. Now 14 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter, and I feel like this is like the longest 1st quarter we've ever played. Now 7-7, 2nd and 10, Besson in motion. Patti to pass. And he'll just chuck that one away as well. What is going on? 3rd and 10. Let's see if Patti at least goes in play with this pass attempt. 11 seconds remaining in the quarter. Patti to pass. He's going to be hit as he throws by Reggie Watkins. And he's not going to get that one in play. 4th and 10. Marquette getting the ball back. Now Pinson on for the punt return as he reassumes the punt return duties. Kind of skips away from a man, breaks a tackle, and works past the 25. And now we do start the 2nd quarter here. Marquette at the 26. We'll start with a play action. Hit the wrong button, try to get X over there, but hit A instead. But luckily, we still get a completion, just 1 yard to Malcolm Graham. Wasted opportunity there. Archibald was wide open over the middle. User error there, hitting the wrong button. 2nd and 9. And we'll give to Craig Jones his first carry of the day. So he stood up there at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to get nothing. Marquette trying to avoid another 3 and out. 0-2 thus far on 3rd down. 3rd and 8 now from the 27. Walker to drop back. Over the middle for Archibald, and Archibald can't make the play. Zach Blake, a true freshman at right outside linebacker, there to stop the pass. Now another punt for Stevens, which has turned into the theme here in this first half. Already the 3rd of the day for him. Back-to-back 3 and outs for the Golden Eagles. Kicks that towards the sideline. Going to be fielded from the 29 by Baltazar. Another good return that time as he works to the 47. Besides each touchdown drive, both sides kind of struggling to get in rhythm offensively. 1st and 10, Boise State near midfield to start this drive. Patti to pass. Swing that towards the sideline for Davis, and that'll go for 4. 2nd and 6 now. The Broncos across midfield. Shipley in motion, and they will give it to him on the sweep. And a good play there on the edge by Williamson with Chris Carter coming over to help. No gain, 3rd and 6. Boise State also struggling on 3rd down like Marquette. Now from the 49, 3rd and 6, Patti to pass. Has a man underneath there. That's Besson who slips free, and Besson breaks a tackle and works ahead for the 1st down. The Broncos have a few high-profile recruits in attendance today, including the top middle linebacker in the nation, along with a couple top-tier athlete recruits. Quick pass there. Butler can't make the tackle, and Dynans is brought down after 9, 2nd and 1. Patti now from the shotgun. 2nd and very short. Davis in motion. As Patti makes an adjustment. And they go with the option here. And Marshall can't make a tackle there. Butler forced off. And a fumble there forced by Kenny Johnson, I believe. And it's scooped up by Bobby Price. Want to make sure that was a clean fumble and not ground forced. Missed a couple tackle attempts. And Kenny Johnson, and I think that is going to be a knee. I think the knee was down. And I think Boise State is going to retain possession. Wow, and I stand corrected. I thought the knee was down, but I guess not. As the Marquette offense back out there. Another turnover forced here in this first half. Go play action. And we can just... I was trying to dump it off there for Harris, but the right bumper button not always functioning. And now 2nd and 10, another wasted down. Now Craig Jones checks into the game. Watkins in motion, the freshman tight end. As Jones gets the carry. We have a James and a Jones. I always get them confused. 6 yards there for Jones. Marquette still looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the game. Now 3rd and 4 from their own 27. Walker takes the snap. Go for Malcolm Graham there. Short conversion, but it gets the job done. 5 yards for Graham, and Marquette moves the chains. Now 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles. They go with the screen here for Scott Nwakpor, as he can't really win the edge, but still gets 5. Now 2nd and 5 from the 37. Walker to pass. Swing that out for Jordan Pinson, as he can't make the man miss. 3rd and 4, just 1 yard. I was hoping Pinson there one-on-one with a defender could work some magic, but to no avail. Now 3rd and 4 as we'll give to Michael James, and he gets 3. Now 4th and 1, and I think we're going to go for this one. 4th and 1 for the Golden Eagles from their own 41. A risky spot to go for it, but we're usually successful in these situations, but not this time, as Jeff Harris stopped at the line, and Tito Cruz there could not hold his block. A big swing, and Boise State favorable field position now at the 41. And we did fail in one of those conversions a couple weeks ago, but we still ended up winning. But I don't know if we can pull away with a win in a game like this, not converting in that spot. Now Boise State takes back over as they'll start with a play action. Go to the sideline for Besson, and a 4-yard catch that time. Patti now over 100 yards passing here in this first half, less than 3 minutes remaining. He's going to pass here for Shipley as he trucks over a man. A good finish there, 11 yards, 1st and 10. Boise State now from the 26 as Patti will pass. And again, he'll just throw that one away. 8 incompletions, and I think like more than half of them are just throwaways. 2nd and 10 now. Patti to pass. He has a man there towards the sideline. Butler doesn't recognize it, but he does get the swat. A 3rd and 10. 3rd down. Let's see if Boise State can convert. As Besson goes in motion. Patti to pass. He will throw it up there for Davis. And we had Kevin Davis back there, and he doesn't make a play on the ball. And Grant Davis, tremendous job getting the feed in there to make the grab in the back of the end zone. And Patti fired that one in there and dropped it right in the bucket. And Davis, when you man the DB sometimes back in coverage, it just will pull you off for some reason. And, you'll never get used to it. It just kind of, sometimes you'll make the catch and sometimes you don't. So Boise State now up 14-7 with this extra point, as we'll get another studio update. What do we got? Florida State leading Miami right now 21-14. The Seminoles 1-3, and they actually came in at a 99 overall team. Jameis Winston also a 99 overall quarterback, but not a good start for the Seminoles, but they'll look to upset Miami this week. And now Chance Pelland will take this out of his own end zone. We haven't had a return here today. Good block there by Jack Mason as Pelland steps out there at like the 32. Now 2:30 remaining in the half. Marquette a chance to draw even here, but at least you want to put together a strong drive and get even a field goal if you can. Michael James at carry as he gets 6. We've gotten a few big plays through the passing game, but our running game really not getting going quite yet. 2nd and 4 now as we hit the 2-minute mark here in this second quarter. And we'll go a quick one there for Childress, and that goes for 10 yards as he's forced out of bounds near the 50. Walker now over 100 yards with that completion as Sam Manning checks into the game, the freshman running back. And he will get the carry here on the cutback, and only 2 that time to midfield. Now from the 50, Walker in the shotgun with Craig Jones out there as Walker takes the snap. Go downfield here for Archibald, and he drops it! Archibald has had some bad drops downfield this season, and that one may be the worst. Now 3rd and 8, and that was a big swing. And I wish I could say it was uncharacteristic from Archibald, but as I said, he's kind of had a few drops this season. Now 3rd and 8, Walker to pass. I'll dump that for Kevin Coleman quickly with the linebacker blitzing, and Coleman making some moves after the catch and getting ahead for 20. And we do put Archibald on a hot route here, just going vertically, maybe him or Coleman over the middle, as we're now less than a minute left in this half. And Archibald wide open down, or that's Coleman. Wow, and a good close on the ball there from the corner. Lee Gibbs, I think a freshman safety. Good close there to get the hand in. I thought we had Coleman wide open there, but like I said, a very good close on the ball. And now 2nd and 10. Walker directly under center takes the snap. Rolls to the right, and we're just going to scramble this time. Walker forced out there, big hit. And he might be hurt after that one. 7 yards now, 3rd and 3. And Walker not hurt, but he was red stamina-wise, so we did call a timeout. We have a couple here to spare as we go for the screen on Archibald. That's going to bring up a 4th and inches. The DB reacted very well there and almost closed in for the incompletion. Now 2 timeouts left. We'll hurry back and maybe get a run play up the middle here with Alexander. I do like the numbers as we just call this one quickly. Good push up front as Alexander trips ahead for 8 inside the 15. Just the 2nd carry of the day for Alexander. Now just 1 timeout remaining for Marquette. 1st and 10 now from the 14. Walker to pass. Go for Jack Mason in the end zone, and not a guy you want in a one-on-one situation. A good play there by Jalen Myrick. Now 2nd and 10, 22 seconds remaining. Walker rolls to the right. And bad placement there. I was trying to get Pinson more towards the side of the end zone there, but Lee Gibbs, another play on the ball. Luckily, not intercepted. Now 5 receivers on the field for this 3rd and 10. We're going to go with Bunch Flood. See if we can maybe get Childress there, but he is the RB receiver, so that's always risky for those who are familiar with my controller. We will try it there. Childress in the end zone. He makes the touchdown catch as we're going to tie it up here towards the end of the first half. Childress, his first touchdown after transferring as a JUCO, and our JUCO commits Kevin Davis with the interception, and now Childress with the touchdown as we square it up here with 12 seconds remaining. Now 12 seconds for the Broncos, and let's see if we can just hold them here on this kickoff. We've been getting a lot of big returns lately. It's kind of been a storyline of this season, but luckily Shipley just needs that one as the Broncos will take over from the 25. Let's see how the Broncos play this one. Probably just a run, as they do go to a run, and a good stop there by Philip Marshall at the line of scrimmage. And Boise State is just going to let it run down to the second half, and a very good half of football. It was kind of a long one. Both teams kind of struggled to get into a rhythm, but once we did, it was kind of clicking. A good passing touchdown to end it there to Doug Childress, his first as a Marquette Golden Eagle. And a reminder that this is considered a rivalry game for us, so it kind of bodes big for Lance Leipold and the program. We do want to start out 1-0 in this rivalry game against Boise State, number 15 in the nation, And our defense has really held up over the past few weeks. Our offense still without a turnover. I want to say that's maybe now around 12 quarters of turnover-free football. A couple turnover on downs, though. I don't know if you count that, but otherwise, a touchdown pass to Archibald to start things, and then Doug Childress getting in on the action as well. We're going to try and get the running game incorporated a little bit more and see how that goes for us. Boise State will start with the ball here as we're tied 14-14 from Broncos Stadium. And now again, we'll have an Eddie Stevens kickoff. I feel like we just witnessed one of these. We're now underway in the second half, and let's see if Shipley takes this one out, which he will. Good blocking for the Broncos as Mark Henry gets off a block. Shipley, though, towards the 30. Now the Boise State offense takes over to start this second half. A delay give there for Delmas, and a good stop there one-on-one by the freshman linebacker, Chris Carter. And Delmas a little shaken up after that one, so Baltazar will check into the game for the first time. Patti to pass. And he's going to be brought down. Mike Johnson home originally, but Rob Bain will clean it up. And entering last week, I forgot to check this week, but he was second in the nation in sacks. Although, I mean, Mike Johnson should get the credit for that one, but they both got home, and Bain cleans it up. A big-time play there to start this drive. Bain the Destroyer. I said entering the season he was going to be our defensive MVP, and certainly living up to that hype thus far. Now a 3rd and 12, Boise State backed up to the 27. Patti to pass. He's going to be hit as he throws, and that's Rob Bain again, causing the disruption. And a 3-and-out force here from the Marquette defense to start the second half. Leipold and Bobby Goss, the offensive coordinator, kind of splitting play calling duties here. And it has given them some pretty good results. Now a quick pass there on the Z spot for Pinson, and that'll get 6 across midfield. Z spot out of Ace Bunch, maybe my favorite play in the entire playbook, just a consistent one. I love those short concepts. Now 2nd and 4, we'll give to Alexander for the first time here as he cuts upfield through a lane 9 yards as he broke a tackle. A quick flip here to start the second half. Marquette already at the 35 of Boise State. Walker takes the snap. Roll to the right, good coverage downfield. We're just going to take off with this one and slide ahead for 8. 2nd and 2 now from the 28. They come out in the I formation, another give for Alexander. He just works it ahead for the first down and another 4 yards. Now another fresh set for Marquette. And they'll give back to Alexander, works it to the left as he gets a tough 6 up the middle. Now they'll come out with F.A. Scott and Walkport in the Wildcat. Haven't seen this look in quite a while. And nothing doing that time. Got to mix in these formations sometimes with off-the-wall play calls, but usually they're not working for us. Now 3rd and 5, we actually called an audible, and we just barely get the play off. Go towards the end zone for Scott and Walkport, and he gets up, gets his hands on the ball, but can't bring it down. Walker was hit as he threw. That could have been passed down touchdown number 3. But instead it's going to be a 36-yard field goal attempt for Castillo. And I'm not sure if this is his range. I think 36-37 might be his maximum. And the kick is up. And it just gets through as Marquette takes the lead. These Castillo kicks are super sketchy. And I'm really hoping we can get a kicking upgrade next year. But you know, after training, I think he'll probably just be the best result. We've looked at a few guys in recruiting, but neither would be better than Castillo would be after training. Currently at 70 kick power, hoping that goes up to at least a 75 for next season, as he'll be a junior, I believe, or a redshirt sophomore. Now Baltazar on the return, he's brought down there by Childress. And pretty even overall, 39 plays to 35. Marquette leading by 3 and leading by just 15 in total yardage. First downs even at 8. This may be the most balanced game we've played so far this season, although we are up 2-0 on the turnover differential, but still only winning by 3. Boise State a chance to tie it here. Pass there, Patti will swing that out for Besson, and he's brought down there by Clay Diamond. 3 yards, now 2nd and 7, more than halfway through this third quarter. 2nd and 7, Patti directly under center as Delmas is back in the game. Davis, a big drop over the middle. He would have had the first down, but now 3rd and 7. And now Patti from the shotgun. Boise State from the 26 on 3rd and 7. They have Larson over the middle, but Bobby Price brings him down just short of the first down. And we'll see what Boise State does here. It looks like they are going to punt with their 95 overall punter. And you know, if it was us, we probably would have went for it in this spot. We are going to get a fair catch, though. I feel like you can take advantage of returns very easily in this game, so I try to just limit it to maybe, 2-3 returns per game. I know that might sound silly, but hopefully, you catch my drift and see where I'm coming from. Now I formation to start this drive, 3:10 in the third, and they'll give for Alexander. Good shiftiness there, although stopped there on the edge, just 3 yards. Now 2nd and 7, Walker back to pass. I'll just go underneath for Thad Archibald. He's lit up there, just 3 yards, and now 3rd and 4. We are giving Bobby Goss, the OC, the play calling duties here, probably from here on out. 3rd and 4 now, as we go with the give for Dusty Alexander, and a big lane opens up, and a good 3rd down conversion, 8 yards for Alexander, and he's getting going here in the second half. After that, this season, we could see a turnover on our coaching staff. It's always been Lance Leipold, Bobby Goss as the OC, Herbert Wright as the DC, but as our program has kind of, been built up a little bit, they're probably going to get some national recognition and maybe even a head coaching gig this offseason. Michael James, a good run as blocking developed as he gets ahead for 8. Now 2nd and 2, Archibald in motion. Walker to pass. And we'll swing that out for the screen as Archibald dropped there for a big loss. I thought that was going to open up quite well, but did not. As a good read there. I think that was a linebacker or maybe a safety working across the field and making a big play. And now 3rd and 7. We tried that play call, I think, earlier in the season, kind of a similar result. And at Archibald, I think, negative yardage on his last 2 catches. Now 3rd and 7 as we hit the minute mark. Walker to pass. He'll hit Childress there for 5, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 2. And I think this is one of those spots where we send out the offense. We'll see how it looks. 4th and 2 now from the 43. And we're just going to send it like the numbers up front. Michael James does get the job done there. And that's our 10th our 10th first down of the day. And that is going to bring us into the 4th quarter. So Marquette leads 17-14. A good drive put together here. And another clean game offensively. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but as I've said throughout the game, still no turnovers here. And if we stay true to that, that'll be 3 straight games without a turnover, as our defense has forced 2. Currently leading number 15 Boise State 17-14 in a tough Broncos Stadium environment. And this Marquette team is just built to milk the clock in the 4th quarter and just finish out games. Let's see if we can put that together here today. Watkins in motion as we'll give to Craig Jones. And Jones a decent give for 4 yards. Jones, those 2 spin moves a few weeks ago. Was that the Baylor game where Craig Jones just completely made some people look silly out there? I wish I could, put some highlight tapes together for some of these players, but just don't have the time, unfortunately. It's Craig Jones another give, and he'll get 3 that time. Now 3rd and 2. And now Michael James into the game. I think we might have a nice gap here to the right side. And we do get the job done again as Michael James just gets ahead for 3 and another first down for Marquette. Last episode, we did bring in a few more commits, and we are going to get a recruiting update after this game where I think we should have another 2 or 3, that sign their letters of intent and commit to Marquette. Another 4 yards there for James. He's getting used a lot here down the stretch. And now it's 2nd and 6, Marquette from the 39, Walker to pass. And Archibald open underneath, and he's hit hard again. They're just tossing him around out there, although he does hang on 3rd and 1. Now Alexander checks into the game here as we hit the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. A nice hole opens up for Alexander, and he's going and tripped up after 16 yards. Thought he might take that for a house call, but a good touchdown-saving tackle. I think that might have been Tanner Vallejo. Correction, that was actually Darren Lee. And, once Alexander hits the hole, he has a bunch of speed. Watkins in motion as Craig Jones checks back into the game. He'll get the carry. Good blocking to the outside. Another good spin move from Jones. And he's going to find the end zone. Craig Jones always seems to provide that energy late in the game as he finds the end zone just one play after Alexander almost broke free. And that spin move is just lethal from Craig Jones. I love the spin move, and that was a big incentive on why we brought him in back in year 1. And now we'll get another studio update as this game winds down here in Boise. And the Seminoles absolutely obliterate the Hurricanes 56-14. Jameis Winston 4 touchdown passes. Roberto Aguayo 8 out of 8 on extra points. The Miami Hurricanes entered this year at number 4, I believe, and now already their 2nd loss. So Marquette now 24-14, just 4:25 remaining. And we're just staying true to our brand of football, and it's really working out for us here in these past few weeks. Big stop there from Mark Henry. He did get the initial contact, although Baltazar brought down, I think that was Davis. And it was pretty even earlier, but now Marquette pulling away in pretty much all these categories as our defense is really limiting the Boise State offense. Now Nick Patti, the senior quarterback, looking to lead a 4th quarter comeback here. Give for Delmas to open it up. as he breaks a Pellin tackle, breaks a Williamson tackle, and Delmas breaking free up the sideline now past the 30, past the 20, past the 10, and he's going to break a tackle and bring it all the way. And a huge momentum swing there. Devin Delmas, a big house call, and Boise State answers right back. So that's one way to do it if you're Boise State. You keep as much time on the clock as possible, and a quick running strike. And now only down 3, just down 2 possessions now, just one play later, you're right back in it, a chance to get the ball back. If your defense does have to step up, though, Marquette is tremendous at just eating away the clock in the later stages of the game and stringing together first downs. See if we can do that again here on this drive. An opening gift for Michael James. Good blocking develops as James takes that ahead for 10. And I love that it's 2nd and inches because the clock will continue to run. Marquette now from the 35 as we're at the 3:30 mark remaining. Another gift for James and a strong run as he trips ahead towards the 45. And now Craig Jones back out there fresh off a big touchdown run. See if he can put together some more late game heroics. Working off a couple of tackles there as he gets ahead for 5. Now less than 2.5 minutes in the game. Alexander checks in. Good spin move there through a lane as he gets ahead for 4. And again, 3rd and inches. And that's going to condense the game a little bit. Boise State does take a timeout. And you see, if we get a first down here, that might prove to be kind of a waste. And now 6 out of 13 on 3rd down, 3rd and inches here. And Michael James will get the job done, and Boise State takes their 2nd timeout. And we're set up pretty well here. 2:14 remaining now, a fresh set of downs for Marquette. Boise State just 1 timeout. We'll get back to Alexander, and he has a lot of space to the outside. He probably could have worked that a little bit better towards the sideline, but still a big gain. 14 yards as Boise State burns their final timeout. And now we do put the ball carrier on conservative, in order to reduce the chance of a fumble. Now 2:10 remaining, and we'll give to Craig Jones. Another spin move for Jones. I thought he was going to break through that hole, but we'll still take 8 yards. And I think at this point, a first down, and you win the football game. 1.5 minutes remaining here, 2nd and 2. We'll give to Alexander. And nothing doing that time for Alexander, as that'll now force the 3rd and 3. Good contributions from all 3 primary backs in this game. Now 3rd and 3. A first down wins the game, but we're stopped in the backfield. And this is going to be interesting. There's an 8-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. So I think maybe call a play from the shotgun and just run it back, or should we punt it? This is kind of a weird situation. I'm definitely not. I'm going to take conservative off to give us some time. I think should we call a play from the shotgun and just run it, or just do a punt? They are telling us to go for it, so I think we'll just go for it, trying to waste some time. And that probably will leave them with a few seconds, but they would in that spot need a Hail Mary. So I think we'll call a play here and just take as much time in the pocket, and then probably just try for a throwaway maybe. As Walker takes the snap here on 4th and 4. Still, a conversion does win the game. Go for the end zone for Archibald. He gets in for the touchdown, and that was unexpected. His 2nd of the day. Walker now 3 touchdown passes, and that's got to be a career high for him. That was a little risky, as the DB went the other way, even though the ball was in the air, and Archibald wide open there. And that's going to be the dagger as he looks at the student section saying, "What up? How you doing? You're getting an L." Boise State is going to fall to 4-1 as we're now 5-0. Well, we've won our last 5 against ranked opponents. I did not see this coming, especially after an 0-2 start, but Marquette now a 4-game winning streak. And let's keep the good times rolling. Next week we have Minnesota in a back-to-back with Big Ten teams. We'll have Nebraska the week after, as they're currently a ranked team. Matt Besson on that squib return, and just 1 second remaining for the Broncos. And hopefully we can get an interception here on this deep heave. That would be nice. That would certainly help the turnover differential. Unexpected result here as we again show up against a ranked school on the road nonetheless. And Rob Bain is going to get home for another one. And he's among the national leaders in sacks. 2 on the day. And a tremendous performance from our Marquette Golden Eagles. Again, we hang on to the football. We don't turn it over. And we just play a clean, flawless game all around. It took a little bit for our offense to, get in rhythm. And I love the spin move from Craig Jones. I'm going to be talking about that for the next 3-4 seasons. We come into Broncos Stadium, a hostile environment, and we win on the blue turf. And look at us celebrating there at midfield. A huge game and another big win against our ranked opponent. You can't say enough. And we're knocking off some of the top quarterbacks in the nation. Zach Allen, TCU, is a 98 overall. Nick Patti, 97 overall. Stad Archibald, the player of the game. 7 receptions, 74 yards, a couple scores. And our running backs, I think we had 3 running backs over 40 or 50 yards. And they really came around there in the second half. So that's going to do it here from Broncos Stadium as we get a tremendous win here, 31-21. And I'll see you back at Marquette recruiting headquarters, as I'm assuming we'll get a few new commits after this performance. All right, following that 31-21 victory over number 15 Boise State, as we're now technically 1-0 against our rivals, we're back at our recruiting board, which is coming along quite nicely here. We still lead for Todd Kemp, although NIU only 960 behind, and they visit with him this week, already plus 600. And if they hit any game goals, that's going to jump up. So I'm not fully convinced we can stay in the hunt for Kemp, although I'm pretty sure he's the type of guy, when they kind of just decide between 2 teams here, I think that usually trickles into the offseason. And if he does go, we'll easily pour, a majority of our resources into getting him in. A very highly coveted offensive lineman out of Schaumburg, Illinois. Quincy Bonner, our top receiver. We're currently battling with UTEP. He visits with them later on in the season. And we do have a big lead on him right now. We're pulling away by 80, and we really want to bring him in at a Lowell, Michigan. But I don't know. He might go to the offseason as well. I'm not quite sure. But either way, if Kemp and Bonner trickle into the offseason, there'll be 2 guys that it's kind of been our approach. We have like 2 priority guys, and we just kind of pour everything into them. Adam Thomas. So Minnesota made a huge run on him last week. They jumped ahead by like 1,000 points, but now they fall by like 390. So I'm not quite sure what's happening with them. I think they do visit with him next week. So it's funny. We play Minnesota this week in the next episode, and then he visits with them. So maybe if we beat them pretty good, he'll just end up committing to Marquette out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Another guy, we're battling with against Minnesota is for John Stovall, 6'2", 181, out of Anoka, Minnesota, the 166th corner. He visits with us this week and then with Minnesota next week. So we'll see how that goes. It says he's already 98% locked, so maybe he commits after the next couple weeks. Jed Brigham and CJ Saria here, 2 4-stars. And we have big leads over both, but the more I think about it, the more why are these Power 5 schools not investing? Maybe they scouted him fully and kind of see like Brigham drops down 1, Saria drops down 3 after scouting. And we have a receiver down here who's only a 61, Daniel Harrison, 5'11", 191. And Saria is the better player, but I feel like Harrison, you're not expecting as much from just a 2-star guy. And he's already gone up +3, or he's a 3-star, but you're not expecting as much from him as you are with Saria. So I don't know if we should just, go after Harrison instead. But we already did offer Saria, so he might be the first 4-star commit, or it's probably going to be Brigham here, although he does have visits coming up. We visit with him after Eastern Michigan and Michigan State, who are currently trailing us. So we'll see how that goes. But I expect Brigham and Saria to maybe commit here in the next few weeks. 2-star Anthony Edwards. We visited with him already. Kind of a two-horse race here with the Chippewas. What are we doing weekly for him? I'm trying to scroll with right bumper, but it doesn't work. Minus 100, so we did get a little boost, but I really think he favors the Chippewas, so we'll see if we can kind of stay in pat with them. Maybe another guy who trickles into the offseason. Jimmy Fisher out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I think he's going to commit here in the coming weeks. 78% locked. Jay Hill, 68% locked. We visit with him in week 12 out of Pearl, Mississippi. Another highly rated guy, only a 3-star, but kind of like Brigham and Saria. These Power 5 schools, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, just not really pursuing him. James Williams, we kind of jumped in late with him, but I think he's going to be fairly easy to get just to give us some more depth in the secondary. Undersized there at 166, but we like his traits and a good player to build off of. Mike Lumpkin, we're late pouring points into him, but I think he's going to be our 3rd lineman that we bring in this class. And Calvin Smith, we don't really need him. We already have a DN committed, and then we're probably going to get Brigham, but I mean, not a bad player. So we're just kind of hovering there with an even 100 and seeing how that goes. Nick Dennis, the quarterback, who Minnesota is pulling away just because we haven't poured any points into him, but I don't really think we need a quarterback. We don't really need to bother. If his traits were like off the charts, and maybe, but 82 throw power, 76 accuracy, I think we'll hold out until next year and maybe get a better quality quarterback when our program hopefully, is ranked a little bit higher. So we did get 2 more commits here. Omar Wilson, he debuted as our top prospect on the board, the top free safety in the state of Wisconsin. So we keep him in state out of Janesville, Wisconsin. And we're going to go ahead and scout him fully just to review the zone and man at D. So I'm really hoping those jump up. 76 press, which is pretty good, especially for a safety. 73 pursuit, 70 tackle, not bad, but 63 block shed, not the best. But if he can make up for it with his athleticism, a B speed, B acceleration, it might be worth it. But still, Omar Wilson probably is a guy who will get some playing time next year in a very weak secondary. So we'll go ahead and scout him. And he goes back to a 68, so stands pat. The 67 zone, pretty good. I do like that. 85 agility, 90 speed, 89 acceleration. So very good traits all around. And I'm very happy we were able to get Omar Wilson along with Derek Perkins, our top 2 targets entering the year. And secondary is our biggest weakness, so I'm glad we were able to snatch them up. Robert Weber here, 2-star linebacker out of Ohio. I like the measurables at 5'11", 232. And we did need to bring an Ohio player in to solidify that pipeline, which we do. So a big get here, even though he's not the highest rated player at just a 2-star. But the 95 acceleration with a B speed, I really like that athleticism skill set to build off of, and a very good play rack already at 76. The coverage traits, low 60s, block shed at 62. So those do need to get better, but probably a redshirt candidate. We typically do redshirt our 2-stars, and now we'll go ahead and scout him fully. And he goes up to a 67, a +7. You love to see that. 85 speed, 63 agility. Our linebackers, Bryant Gaines had 50 agility at D end. Oh, we never fully scouted Jared Turner. So I got to free up 50 points real quick to scout Turner. I think we'll just take him off of Calvin Smith up here. Wow, I'm shocked. That's usually like my highest priority. I love scouting these players fully. So Jared Turner, 64 overall tackle, Des Moines, Iowa, and Bryant Gaines out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our first 2 commits, along with Troy Walker here at D tackle, Mike George, and the aforementioned Derek Perkins. Just a little review there. But Jared Turner, I'm very intrigued. Already at a +2 to 64. Not a good athlete by any means, but you like the 76 run block and strength, pass block, and impact block, all at C as well. So he does go back down to a 62, but not a bad player. Love the run blocking, impact block, and pass block at a high 60s. So probably a redshirt at a 2-star, and maybe someone we transition to guard. So we do have 5 more points, but really like what we have here in Robert Weber. I don't what exemplifies a gem. Like, I feel like a +7 certainly should be a gem. Really doesn't have much for block shed, but I think he'll develop into a very good coverage linebacker, especially with those athleticism traits. So we have 5 more points. I guess we'll just throw him right back into Calvin Smith, give him 55. And we do have a few visits here. CJ Saria, we still have to visit. And I think we'll just throw him here against Minnesota. Mike Lumpkin, probably the same thing. Daniel Harrison will spread him out here to Virginia. Number 6 in the nation right now, the Virginia Cavaliers. And Josh Alexander, we'll just put him in at San Diego State. So that's our little recruiting update. Now up to 7 signings, and we do have a coaching point upgrade available, which we'll use. And actually, let's take a look at top classes and see how that's going. Currently at even 50, and that's our goal. We want a top 50 recruiting class this season. Army, Florida State, Middle Tennessee State. I'm just going to go all the way to the top. I was going to say Oklahoma. They're always at the top, but actually Alabama, who are 3-3, they just lost this week. Boise State at number 3. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Illinois at number 6 right now, but still very early. A lot can change there. Now we're here at the Lance Leipold coaching tree, or coaching skill tree rather, and I wish we had the plus 50 points assigned to recruits each week, but we're not quite there yet, so we got to settle for something else. We're not going to do lock. We don't have to worry about anyone locking us out this year. So we still have the one at our disposal. So it's really between World Treatment and maybe the closer. I really don't think we need an extra 500. I don't really see what more that will accomplish. We pretty much have the foundation of our recruiting class signed, and the extra guys that we're going to target, I think we have a good chance at bringing most of them in. But we will add a couple guys to the board going into next week. So I think we'll go with the visit and set us up. We don't really have any more key visits scheduled, but maybe a late addition will benefit from that. But next year, I think, so at this point, that'll give us a level 7 in game management and recruiting. So we'll probably go back-to-back here in recruiting. We'll do Rural Treatment right now, give us a bonus there in visits. And then I think our next one will be the opener here and give us a boost going into next season for that opening recruiting class. Then a little review here. I don't think we've ever mentioned our coordinators really just outside of a game. So Herbert just like casually in a game, So Herbert Wright, our DC, his 4th year. Haven't done anything here for injury or stamina, but our next upgrade probably going to go with power moves and finesse moves. And on offense, Bobby Goss. I think we'll go with stamina next time. I noticed that our offensive line, they get subbed in and out throughout the game, but that's really not realistic. Offensive line, they take every snap for the most part. So we're going to try and upgrade our stamina next time we get a coordinator upgrade. Now to finish the episode, we'll get a top 25 update. Ohio State, the top 5 stayed the same. Ohio State, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, West Virginia, and then Virginia. So the 2 Virginia teams up here back-to-back. And number 6 Virginia, number 3 Georgia Tech, both teams on our schedule, and they actually play each other here. Not the next episode, but the episode following that. They're going to play, I think that'll be like week 9 or week 10. So that's going to be interesting, and that'll be kind of cool. We can base a little bit off of that matchup into our matchups with those respective squads. So Notre Dame above any one-loss team, the top 6 undefeated, and then 5-2 Notre Dame, 7-0 Army at number 8. They jump up 12 spots. Ole Miss, they fall to Army and drop now to number 9. Georgia up here in the top 10. Nebraska, they lose to Penn State. The Nittany Lions now ranked, and we have Minnesota. And then we have Nebraska in the following episode. Oklahoma 3-2. They beat Oregon State. Tennessee 5-1, but only at 13. They defeat Auburn in overtime. Marshall at 14. The top group of 5 team. I don't know if you count Independent as a group of 5. Probably not. So Marshall, the top one in that class out of the Conference USA. Florida, Miami, after getting clobbered by Florida State. Arizona 5-0. A huge win over USC by 32. Alabama loses to Texas A&M. Now at 3-3, the top 3 loss team. Penn State at 4-2. Oregon at 4-2. They lose in overtime to Washington State. Florida State under 500, but still ranked. Boise State falls down to 22 after losing to us. The Huskies at 23 from Washington. Michigan now at 24 after falling to the Terrapins in overtime. And then TCU at 25. Let's see if we're receiving any votes, which we are not. I figure maybe another win or two, we might be in the rankings, especially if Nebraska is ranked and we went on to beat them. Arkansas, UCF, Wake Forest, Rutgers, Connecticut, Virginia Tech, Kansas State, and Maryland receiving votes. And now a quick look at the Heisman watch as Malik Zaire still leading the way, actually jumps up to the number 1 spot. Dontre Wilson falls down. Ryan Buchanan falls down. Kelvin White goes up. And Dan Petty, his debut here in the Heisman watch. 37 carries for 260 against Vanderbilt. And now a look at the championship contenders. It's funny how it varies from week to week. We've been bouncing all around at a point where like a D- and now up to a C after stringing together the 4-game win streak. 2 of those against ranked opponents. Now at 34, and next year they have us at 102, but we're going to exceed that. And then going on after that, they have us, high 80s. But I think we'll be a ranked team hopefully at the end of this season. But at worst case, I think we'll be ranked next year. But this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so mumuch for watching. And I'm glad we got a nice episode in here. A big win, 31-21 against a ranked Boise State team. We're now 1-0 against rivals and 5-0 in our last 5 against ranked opponents. What a tremendous showing we've put on against the top tier competition. Next week, we host Minnesota. And that'll be our first of 2 Big Ten matchups of the year. If there's anything else you want to see at the end of these episodes, please feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to display some new menus and all of that. So as always, everybody, it's been real and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.